as you've mentioned, I'm Kristian Andrews, and I am a creative director of commercials at Studio AKA. We're a London-based animation studio in Clerkenwell. So I'm just going to flick to the first slide of the presentation now. Here we are, AKA, a little collage of our works. Most of the work that I'm going to delve into today can be found on studioaka.co.uk. So delve into our portfolio. There's a real breadth of stuff there, and it gives you a sense of, just how uncoupled we can be from those physical mediums, paper, real world drawing, and also how some of the works really stays true to that materiality. So I'm going to hopefully show you now our show reel, which gives you a real overview of the types of work that we undertake. So there you go, a big breadth of work, all the way from commercials, title sequences, short films, and then our recent featurette adaptation of Oliver Jeffers' Here We Are, right through to our preschool series, Hey Dougie. So a real breadth of moving image work there. So I'm going to sort of take it right back to where all of our work is sort of underpinned, and that is this relationship with paper, and specifically mark making and drawing on paper. It's how we originate ideas, it's how we record and devise characters. This, oh, I'm really sorry, I'm just gonna hang up on that person. But yeah, so this preoccupation with sketchbook keeping, observational drawing, it's what all of the directors at the studio are always engaged with. And as I say, it forms the start of the production process for us. So we're communicating ideas via storyboards through to the other artists that we work with in order to develop the stories that we tell on behalf of brands, and on behalf of ourselves, sometimes when they're short films. So I'm going to specifically delve into a little case study here, which, if I can flip forwards, I'm hoping we will go to, there we go. I hope you're feeling Christmassy. So this is an image from an illustrator that was commissioned by a clothing manufacturer here in the UK called Jules. And they really wanted to preserve this illustrative, painterly feel that they had for their branding. And so that sort of materiality, that kind of sensitivity to the medium and paint on paper had to be preserved as we took it into moving image and brought all of this world to life. So I'll progress through some of the production stills as we brought life to Rosie McAdams' illustrations. You'll see the woodland creatures that the client wanted to feature within the ad. And now I'm going to progress on to the final film and how hopefully you'll see that we managed to, even in the digital realm, try and preserve some of that handmade quality, that papery feel, the painterliness of the entire thing. So here we go. So there you go. Everybody needs a bit of festive spirit this time of year. Moving on from our work with Jules and that illustrator there, we're often engaged with this process of translating from one medium into another, bringing to life what was previously still, or trying to offer a new kind of experience of an object. And that was definitely the case in the next piece of work that I'm hopefully going to skip on to. So yeah, these are three examples from our continuing relationship with the Graphic Thought Facility, and ways in which we sort of transformed objects that they were engaged in graphic design for into moving image. So we've got some beautifully designed product design for Herman Miller in the top right, a collaboration for the Photo London exhibition at the bottom, and then I'm going to speak a little bit about our work that we did for Kvadrat. Kvadrat are a Danish fabric manufacturer, and they came to us with this amazing brief whereby they commissioned sculptor Doshi Devien, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, to create an installation of these hanging abstract forms, all created using their product range. So a real sense of tactility and sumptuousness to these woven fabrics. And so Philip Hunt, the director of this piece, produced what I'm about to show you, which was his interpretation of bringing these objects into motion, giving them character, but also preserving that sort of tangibleness rather, to the pieces. So without further ado, I'll move on to that one. So there we go, a real elegant exercise in transforming from one medium into this digital one that we know as film. Which brings me neatly along to our latest collaboration with GTF. This one for a client that I'm sure you'll all know, Fedrigoni. We were approached by GTF at the end of this incredible design process that they'd been involved with, which was this gargantuan task of taking the entire Fedrigoni collection and distilling it into this one desirable product. And they came to us with this beautifully minimal design, which had all of the function that you'd expect for this breadth of work contained within. And so it was really our task to try and communicate that process and that experience that the product then offered the end user. And it was a really, really interesting process because there was this extra stipulation from Paul and Alex at GTF, and that was that we shouldn't use texture. So a complete departure from the Kvadrat work, where we really did preserve the kind of granularity and the feel of those fabrics. Here we were going for a completely geometric, mega clean aesthetic. So that restriction was actually a wonderful springboard into what we then went on to create. I'm not going to show you too many of the images of the production process because that might spoil things. There's a little tantalizing one here of some pages turning, I hope. There we go. And the process of describing this experience of exploring Paperbox, finding the desired paper, the desired weight, the finishes, etc. That became the story and the journey for us with this. Obviously, texture and all of that stuff was jettisoned, and so we had to find another way to imply that the sensual experience that you have of actually engaging physically with this box of books. And so the way in that we found was this. Hopefully I can do Matthew Herbert the disservice of talking over this track now. What you can hear is a music track played by Matthew Herbert, the notable dance music, completely made from a pot of Nescafe coffee. Apologies to all of the Italians amongst you, this is instant coffee we're talking about. But Matthew Herbert made this amazing album called Tesco, based on the top 10 selling objects from Tesco for supermarkets. And he did it by abstracting all of the sounds from the actual object itself. So we sought to emulate that exact process with how we approached the film that you're about to see for Paperbox. All of the sounds in the soundtrack were generated from interactions with the box, sliding the tones into the box, flicking the pages, and similarly, the camera moves and the visuals were all derived from the pleasure of exploring this object, working out what it's for, and then once the function has been revealed, choosing that one paper to base your project on. So I'm going to thank you for having me as part of this amazing event, and thank you again for inviting me to create the film. It was just such a pleasure from beginning to end. Hope you enjoy the film and enjoy the rest of the Paperbox experience.
Fantastic. That was just perfect, just to close the circle. Thank you, Kristian. And again, this has been an incredible piece of work done during the lockdown, so not easy for anyone, but I think the way you managed to give the realisms and also the sounds and really has brought the Paperbox to life anyway, even digitally. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. And let's say I'm going to tell you, you know that we've been always inviting our partner in our project in Italy to visit us, to visit our mills, because we believe you need to stay closer to us, even more so. Whenever the pandemic will allow, it will be our pleasure to come over, if you come over.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we love Italy, so definitely we'll be there like a shot.
To the next challenge, though. Have a good one.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kristian. Bye.
Bye-bye.